construction and testing of packagings. When it is constructed, it has to be tested to see whether the containers can withstand the test. And this needed to be done by the competent authorities, and that's what they are talking about here. Then the UN test and test reports, examples of packaging performance tests, we have drop test, leak proofness test, to make sure that when you drop the thing from a height, it will withstand, like I mentioned earlier on. Leak proofness, that it is not leaking. The container in which the item, the dangerous substance is not leaking, so that it will smear or leak to contaminate other substances that are in the luggage. The internal pressure hydraulic test, and then stacking test. So normally a test report containing at least the required particulars should be drawn up and should be available for the users of the packaging. A copy of the test report should be available to the competent authorities. Unit packaging, you read and you see how it is done. Then you go on. This is an example of marking for a new packing. So normally they write, you see U/N. I was telling you that it's a UN packaging. Then A1 stroke Y1 stroke 1.4 stroke 150 stroke 98 stroke NL/VL 82.4. So all have been explained. Whatever is there, the explanations you can see. Then we have the packaging groups. We have the high danger packaging group, the medium danger packaging group, and then the low danger packaging group. For generic entries and not otherwise specified entries, the relevant packaging group should be determined according to the group criteria of the relevant class. So dangerous goods of all classes other than classes 1.241, self-reacting substances 5.2, 6.2, and 7 have, for packing purposes, been divided among the groups according to the degree of danger they pose. That's why we have the high, the medium, and the low. We also have to deal with packagings which are referred to as receptacles and any other components or materials necessary for the receptacle to perform its containment functions with a minimum net mass of 400 grams or a maximum capacity of 450 liters. Receptacles are containment vessels for receiving and holding substances or articles, including any means of closing. Combination packagings are packagings consisting of one or more inner packaging secured in an outer packaging. Composite packagings are packagings consisting of outer packaging and an inner receptacle, so constructed that the inner receptacle and the outer packaging form an integral packaging once assembled. It means, therefore, thereafter, an integrated single unit which is filled, stored, transported, and emptied as such. Note: packages are the complete product of the packing. So, like I indicated to you earlier, when you are packing, you pack, and the result of your packing, the deliverable of your packing is the package or packages. So that must be noted. You put one into one, you take a carton, then you put a gas bottle into it, or some other bottle filled with petrol or kerosene or a dangerous substance into the packing. You are doing packing of a dangerous substance. And that container, after you have done the packing, becomes the package. So take care, know about the examples of packagings. We have drums, barrels, jerry cans, boxes, bags, etc. So take note. We also have larger packagings which you must take note of. Yes, in the literature, we have those are cylinders with the capacity of 150 liters, tubes, pressure drums, and cryogenic receptacles with some capacity. So look at that closely. Then the unit loads. Unit loads means a number of packages which are either placed or stacked on and secured by strapping, shrink strapping, or other suitable means to a load board such as pallets, placed in a protective outer enclosure such as a pallet box, permanently secured together in a sling. So those are unit loads. Then overpacks. An overpack is defined as an enclosure used by a single consignor to contain one or more packages and to form one unit for convenience of handling and storage during transport. Examples have been given here. Read over them. Then salvage packing. Salvage packings are special packagings into which damaged, defective, leaking, or non-conforming dangerous goods packages or dangerous goods that have spilled or leaked are placed for purposes of transport, for recovery, or disposal. So read on that one too. Segregation of dangerous goods or packages. Most often, there are some items that cannot be put together. For instance, it's difficult for you to put together food and chemicals. Anytime you go to the supermarket to buy items, after you have selected the items into your boxes, you normally would put rice, you will put food items, biscuits, and the stuff into the same basket and add soap, other detergent, perfume, deodorants, and the likes. When you get to the teller who is going to give you the cost of the items to pay. The teller would then separate them one by one to ensure that he does not put together certain items because they are not compatible. They cannot be put together. They have to be segregated. In the same vein, when you go to the warehouses, either bonded or private warehouses, most often than not, when they are stacking goods in there, dangerous goods are separately stacked. Then food items or non-dangerous are also stacked separately. So chemicals and stuff which are not supposed to come close to other items because they are not compatible and not put together to avoid leakage or any other accident. So come to look at it here, generally its incompatible goods shall be segregated from one another. Two substances or articles are considered mutually incompatible when their storage together may result in undue hazards in case of leakage or spillage.